Okay, so today we're just quickly going to look at adding, subtracting, multiplying complex numbers. So it's like your basic bits of complex numbers. It's really like algebra. And what you have to remember is every time you sub in a value, you put it in brackets. And that's so important. And that's the same as algebra. Anytime you sub in a value, put it in brackets and then do what you have to do with it. Generally, in the majority of complex number questions you see, they'll give you this. This is just to help you. We know that I squared is equal to -1. So anytime we end up with an I squared, you just sub in -1. When you sub it in, you're obviously going to put it in brackets, and it becomes, obviously it's multiplying then when it's in brackets. Right, so we just look at this question that we have here. So this was off the 2014 exam paper. So let Z1 equal to 5 minus I and Z2 equal to 4 plus 3I. And find Z1 minus Z2. So it looks really easy to start with. Biggest error people are making this is not putting into brackets, and then this minus here will affect their answer. So we're going to do it the way you should do it, which is put it in your brackets. Okay, so Z1. So I know that Z1 is 5 minus I. So I'm going to sub in, instead of Z1, I'm going to put in 5 minus I. So 5 minus I. Then it's minus Z2. So Z2 is 4 plus 3I. So in my brackets, I'm going to go 4 plus 3I. Okay, so like in algebra, we always keep our like with our like. So in algebra, we would have kept our x's together, our y's together, our numbers together. In complex number, you're going to keep your numbers together, your real numbers together, which is just the normal numbers, and your imaginary numbers, which is your I numbers. So we'll just do this out. Okay, so we can get rid of this first bracket here because nothing is happening. There's nothing on the outside to change the sign or anything like that. So it's just going to leave us with 5 minus I. But here, this is why we had to put in our brackets, because this will affect, that minus doesn't only affect the first part. It doesn't only affect the 4. It will also affect the 3I. Because we have to remember that everything on the outside of the bracket multiplies by everything inside the bracket. Okay, so it'll be minus 4 minus 3I. At this stage, it's just like having our x's, our y's, our x's and our numbers. We just tidy it up, keep what's like together. So we can see that 5 and minus 4 are like. So 5 minus 4 gives us 1. And then we can also see that minus I and minus 3 are like because they both have i's. So minus 3 minus 4, or minus 1 minus 3, sorry, will give us minus 4I. And that's just adding your complex numbers there. That wasn't a great colour to put. So Z1 minus Z2 will give you 1 minus 4I. What if they ask us to multiply? So we'll just say we'll do another question here. So part 2, going to ask us to find Z1 dot Z2. The dot means multiply, and we should know that. Okay, so again, we're subbing in Z1. So we put in brackets. So 5 minus I, and our bracket for Z2 is 4 plus 3I. What would we do if it was algebra with 2 brackets on each other? We'd split the brackets. Don't know why my pen is so messy, but split the brackets so it's the exact same in complex numbers. So we're going to split the first bracket. So we'll have 5 on the full second bracket, and then minus I on the full second bracket, because that's the second part of that bracket. Right, so just the same, the 5 must multiply by everything in that bracket, so we know the drill here. So it'll be 20 plus 15I minus 4I minus 3I squared. Really important there that we notice there's an I squared, because I by I gives us I squared, just like x by x will give us x squared. So that's an I there. Right, we'll tidy it up. So 20, it's grand, and i's and i's, so 15 minus 4 it'd be plus 11I. Then we have minus 3. So if we remember back up here, we said that I squared is minus 1. So anywhere we have I squared, we sub in minus 1. Subbing it in means minus 3 minus 1 into the bracket. So that'll give us 20 plus 11I. minus 3 multiplied by minus 1 because it's in a bracket. So that will give us plus 3. So our answer would be 23 plus 11i. And that's multiplication, subtraction, and addition is the exact same.